have a baby and get $5,000 for it. That is just one of the ideas that the Trump administration is reportedly tossing around to get birth rates up. The New York Times is reporting there are ideas on the table like a National Medal of Motherhood for women with 6 children or more. There's even a $5,000 baby bonus for every new mother. A third idea is to fund.
And we will support baby bonuses.
Do we like this or do we not like this?
I don't like it because if you really were interested in babies, there are plenty of immigrants here whose kids are being deported. If you were interested in babies, there are plenty of people who would come here and become citizens and bring their babies. Way behind in the background, as you've said already, Chris, is the idea that we want more white Christian babies. That's what Elon Musk and many of his followers are all about. That's what Stephen Miller, the policy advisor, is all about. So what we have here is a little bit of eugenics. We want the right kind of babies. That's what we want to reinforce. I also find it a little bit morally offensive to say we're going to reward people who have 6 kids or more.
I think there's some economic realities here that we have to acknowledge out of the gate. And what the Trump administration is trying to do is be proactive. They're trying to solve for something, which I think any industrialized modern nation tries to do. They see a declining birth rate. They're thinking to themselves, how do we make America great again? We have more children to show how great Americans can be. We proliferate our message across the world that free, just, open, and modern societies are the way to go. You do it with your citizenry.
Trump talking about he gonna offer people $5,000 to have babies. $5,000 to have a baby? What is that gonna do? That money gonna fly by. What you gonna do for the rest of that child's life? You got like 18 plus years to deal with your child. That $5,000 is what? I mean, yeah, you can invest possibly, maybe so, but like for real, let's be realistic. $5,000. And when did the population get low? I didn't even know that was a thing, because if you ask me, it's too many young motherfuckers. We need to be offering money to get rid of people. I say yes. But $5 for a baby? If anyone willing to do that, you just tripping. Like, you a little too money hungry for me. Because what? A whole baby? You about to put your body through pain and suffering? Sit out for the summer for $5,000? Get your bag up. It never gave $5,000 for a baby. They're really trying to reel y'all in. And it's going to work for certain types of people. But I'll be damned. Maybe we talking like 10K? Shit. Shoot the club up right now for 10K. 5,000? No. Shit, I don't know. Even 10K sounds a little low for me. Like, I don't know, 100,000? Y'all got more money to give than fucking $5,000. Come on, Trump.
Guys, it's Jamie. I'm a social worker, an educator, and I'm on a mission to help everybody be able to cut through the noise of what's really going on in our world today. So today we're going to talk about this $5,000 baby bonus idea that's been floated around. The government's new idea to increase birth rates is to give $5,000 to a mom per kid. This is bad, very bad, because while it might sound like support, let's be real. It's a setup. It's a policy built on the backs of desperation, and the people most at risk of falling for it are the ones our system has already failed. Low-income families, young parents, folks who've been told over and over that they don't matter. $5,000 sounds like a miracle when you're living paycheck to paycheck, but it's not a solution. It's a bait and switch. It's a short-term check in exchange for a lifetime of responsibility with no structure of long-term care to back it up. And the people pushing this policy know that. They are counting on the fact that when you are living in poverty, you are forced to think in survival mode. You're not weighing 18 years of expenses. You're just trying to figure out how to eat this week, how to pay rent, how to keep the lights on. They are not counting on critical thinking. They're counting on crisis thinking, and that's dangerous. But here's the math. $5,000 doesn't even cover a year of childcare in most states. It doesn't pay for a crib, formula, diapers, transportation, medical bills. It's not an investment. It's an illusion. And you know who sees through this? people with access, people with options, people with generational wealth and education. Those people are not being targeted by this so-called incentive. But the young mom working 2 jobs, the 19-year-old in a rural town with no access to healthcare or a support system, she's the one this is aimed at. Not to empower her, but to use her, to treat her fertility as a tool of economic policy, to dangle hope in front of her, then walk away the second the baby is born. And then guess what happens next? That child grows up in poverty. That mom gets blamed for being irresponsible. That family is told to pull itself up by its bootstraps, while the same people who handed out the $5,000 cut the very services they need to survive. AKA, Head Start is on the chopping block and $880 billion to Medicaid. This is not just bad policy, it is exploitive policy. It's the commodification of struggle, and it keeps people trapped exactly where the system wants them, producing more labor, more consumers, more cannon fodder for a society that refuses to care for them. If you really want to support families in poverty, you need to give them housing, you need to give them health care, give them access to education, childcare, job security, food security, and a future that doesn't come with a baited hook. Women want to have children, they want to be supported. But when your support ends at birth, it's not support, it's a setup.
Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you are watching this video. This video is about Trump wanting the birth rate to skyrocket because the birth rate has been in a steady decline. Well, honestly, I have not seen the steady decline because everywhere I look, I see pregnant women more than non-pregnant women where I am. So I can't really tell that the birth rate is going down. I'm sitting in traffic every day, no matter what time it is. There's people everywhere I turn. I can't get away from people, so I don't know what they are talking about. The birth rate declining. There's too many people everywhere, and this is crazy. And now they want to give people, women, $5,000 to have a baby. This is, if people who want this money are people who are going to be desperate, right? And it keeps people in this cycle of poverty because you're trying to get out, but you're having more and more and more mouths to feed, and it's getting harder. And then they're cutting Head Start, they're cutting food stamps, they're cutting this, they're cutting that to make it hard to have kids, to help out with stuff because it's getting hard out here with rent going high, groceries going high, diapers are astronomical. My daughter, has formula, and that shit went from $69 when the tariffs hit. That shit went to $75. Okay, it's getting expensive, very expensive out here for kids. Don't even let me tell you how clothes, because she runs through clothes like it's water. Okay, and he talked about $5,000. That's not enough. For 18 years, that's not enough. And then you're the one is going to be holding the child for 18 years, not the government. Okay, you had a baby, here's your money. And you had the baby for $5,000. And now you see her looking stupid. And you ain't getting no more help. And this is what the Trump administration is doing. And I don't think this is a good incentive for the birth rates to skyrocket. If they want the birth the births to skyrocket, put more positive things in people's faces. Stop putting single mothers, what's it called? Non-married people in people's faces. Stop telling people, oh, independent, I don't want no wife, I don't want no kids, I'm happy. If every TV show was like back in the day about family, guess what? Your birth rates will skyrocket because people are thinking about getting married and having this perfect family and not all this bullshit that is out here. Let me shut the hell up. President Trump's administration is listening to several ideas designed to help improve declining birth rates, including offering a payment to mothers. While none of the ideas have been publicly endorsed by Trump or his administration, well, he did say that he was thinking about this. White House aides have been present in a handful of options recently, and advocates hope to encourage women to have more children. 4 people who have been part of the meeting spoke with the New York Times on condition of anonymity. The movement increases birth rates and coming in part from conservative advocates promoting their vision of family values. The Times cited a portion of Project 2025, the policy blueprint that has shaped Trump's agenda so far, as a roadmap for the birth rate plan. Part of Project 2025's opening chapter calls to restore the family as the centerpiece of American life. How can you do that? And that's not what you're promoting in the media. That's not what you promoting in public. Good luck with that, Project 2025. If you want that, put that out there and let people change their minds. Money's not going to do that. It's really not. Birth rates in the U.S. have been declining more than a decade, leading some conservatives to call for government action to increase those rates. One plan presented called for funding for programs that would educate women on their menstrual cycles. Why would a woman want to be educated on her menstrual cycle? Why? We already know about our menstrual cycles. Aren't we educated in school? Come on now. The information will presumably be used to help women understand when they're ovulating. I know when I'm ovulating. It's called a fucking period. And when they can conceive. Another idea called for 30% of scholarships for the Fulbright program to be reserved for applicants who are married or have children. Okay. Well, when can I get the scholarship? I'm married and I have children. Where's the scholarship? While those plans don't call for direct funding to mothers, one idea suggests is a $5,000 baby bonus payment that could be issued to American mothers after delivery. Wait, so how would they know who's having a baby? How would they keep track? There's millions and billions of people, and people live all across the United States. How would they keep track? And do they even have $5,000 to give every American who gets pregnant? Wait a minute. Weren't they pushing this like in February for the $5,000 dose stimulus checks? I haven't heard about that. But I guess this is the dose stimulus checks. I'm guessing. The proposed payment is notable as it will cover only a fraction of the average cost of childbirth, even with insurance. So basically, is this going to the insurance and not the mother? Because wouldn't the average mother put this on the towards the birth anyway? The average cost to have a baby is nearly $19,000, and about $3,000 of that is out-of-pocket expenses. Complications with a pregnancy can cause this cost to skyrocket. In some cases, end up costing hundreds and thousands of dollars. The plan would require the approval of Congress. Well, I don't know if Congress would approve it because nobody's working to even have a child, to carry a child. The jobs are shutting down. They're going to shut down even more with these tariffs. Come on, is this administration thinking? And some people in the comments, black people in the comments, were saying, sis, not us. They're not talking about us. Okay? They're not talking about the blacks. Okay? We know who they're directing this to. But hell, what do I know? I'm just a talking head. I don't think I would want any more kids. And $5,000 is not enough.
So you want to offer $5,000 to people to have children. $5,000 to have children when folks can't even afford to buy groceries, can't even afford to pay their rent. $5,000 to most folks out here is their rent, their car payment, their car insurance. And mind you, they ain't even put gas in the car yet. They haven't even put food in the house yet. But you want to offer $5,000 to people. And mind you, you want to unpause the student loan debt for millions of Americans, which this is going to hurt big time poor people. Mind you, these were predatory loans that were given out to some of these people at a very young age when they didn't know any better. But you want to give $5,000 to people to have kids by some controlling man. I don't think so. I don't think so. This is unheard of. This is nothing but being mean and being bullies. And you're doing it to the American people and don't care that you're doing it. You're going to garnish people's wages, and people can barely afford to live right now. But you folks sure do got a good heart. Huh? My mom told me if it don't make sense, don't make it make sense, because it wasn't meant to make sense. And this don't make no sense.
Now, before y'all get too excited on Trump big hit behind talking about y'all gonna get $5,000 push that ugly little baby outside of y'all, listen to this. So the real reason why he's doing this is because he needs workers. That is why he's gotten rid of Roe v. Wade. And his whole plan to move American companies back to the United States was specifically so we can keep money in the United States. But with that, you gotta have workers to work these jobs. And also, they want to take back corporate America. Corporate America, they're tired of seeing black people in it. So now that we're going to weed all these black folks out because they're so unqualified, they got a place to go. Now, don't get me wrong. It's going to be a livable wage, but you're going to hate your life. Also, this is why you're seeing a restructurization of education. All those kids that don't want to learn, we got a place for you. So your child potentially will end up in one of these factories, but we're making America great again at the same time.
So y'all's president and his administration is offering women $5,000 to have a baby. $5,000 to have a baby? Like, are they cool? Are they for real? Because that $5,000 does not even cover the delivery of a baby, let alone you're offering that, and that's nowhere near enough to raise a child. Not in the U.S., it's not. And who in their right mind would want to raise a child right now when costs are steady going up? Nothing has come down. Why would someone want to have a baby at these crazy times right now? And another thing, if you've ever seen The Handmaid's Tale, it's a series on Hulu. We are leading in that direction. Just like Handmaid's Tale. They had these women having all these babies, and it was just a shit show. I mean, it's really crazy. But no, nobody's wanting to have a baby for $5,000. We want more affordable health care. We want our groceries going down, our gas going down. We don't want to have any kids. And anybody that sees this know that this is straight nonsense. This administration is so cuckoo till it doesn't make sense.
I haven't heard the Orange Man and his administration are thinking about giving new moms $5,000 for every delivery. You get $5,000. And my mind is like, what do you think $5,000 can do? Like, how about free healthcare? How about free daycare? How about parental leave that is longer than 6 weeks for both mom and dad? How about we start there? Like, 5,000 can do nothing. Like, I feel like diapers alone in like a month is more than 5,000. Like, they're so out of touch. I can't even like process, because you want people to have more kids, but you're not paying people. Like, the minimum wage has been the same for God's know how long. But you want more people to have kids to be in poverty, so your people can continue to work them for cheap. Why the 1% continue to be rich and richer, and their kids are going to be rich and richer? Like, make it make sense. 5,000 is nothing. Okay? All right, cool. Bye.
Okay, so I don't know if y'all seen this, but Trump, I just seen something on the news that said Trump said that he's paying families or whoever, women, $5,000 to pretty much have a baby, because he is trying to reverse the decline of the baby shortage, because not enough people are having children. Now, I'm trying to figure out who in their right mind, who either don't have kids or had all of their children that they want to have and said they're done, is going to turn around in this economy and have more kids because you said you was going to get them $5,000. Sir, do you know how much it costs to raise a child? It costs more than $5,000. What is $5,000 going to the baby? That's 2 months. $5,000 is like 2 months worth of anything. Baby, you put that kid in daycare, that money is gone. You gotta do so much for children. $5,000 is not enough money. And even if it was, why would I decide to have a child underneath this administration? What is wrong with these people?
And Donald Trump talking about $5,000 to have another baby. That's right. You heard it right. Donald Trump is offering new mothers $5,000. What? Baby, you can go ahead and keep them $5,000, because for me, $5,000 is going to be gone like that. And that baby's still going to be growing. That baby still got a whole 18 years of life. No, I'm not having no more kids. I'm good on it. Now, although that may help some people, and some people may run and just go popping them babies out for that $5,000, but he said a one-time payment. So don't go being crazy. I'm good on it with my 2. Baby, these kids run me down every day. I'm good with my 2. And ain't nobody gonna watch them. I can't call Donald Trump and ask him to watch my kids. So no. And them $5,000 ain't gonna watch my kids either. I'm good.